Alright, hey guys, what's going on? So, if you've never watched one of my videos before, I talk about Ethereum. It is a cryptocurrency that is very volatile, which can be scary, but that's why you got me. Alright, so there's a couple reasons why you guys are clicking on this video today. If you're coming over from TikTok, welcome to my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you want to have the extra content, which I can't post on TikTok because it's only 60 seconds. If you're coming in because you're a new Ethereum investor, you guys are thinking about jumping on the train because you heard that it is going to the moon, that's fine as well. Welcome. Or you guys are already dabbling in it, welcome as well. So what we're going to be doing today is actually talking about one of the strategies that you could use when dealing with Ethereum. This is a way to accumulate more Ethereum with just your initial investment. So say your investment is $1,400. With that amount, that's what we're going to be working with for this entire strategy. Now, again, I just want to say that this strategy may not be for everyone. It's your money. Some people just enjoy investing in something and leaving it there. This does involve you guys to be a little bit more involved in your own investment, which, again, I hope that a lot of people want to be, because Ethereum, if you start to understand it and start to understand the market, you can really make a lot of money and kind of capitalize on what's going on in the market. But if you're somebody who likes to give your money to a financial advisor or something like that and they kind of deal with it, that's fine too. Maybe just listen to it. Maybe it really doesn't seem that hard for you guys to actually figure out and try your best at. Alright, so talking about 1400. Alright, so let's go look at the 1400 spot on our chart here. So we're using tradingview.com. If you guys have never used it, it's really good. You can sign up for free. Alright, so if we find our 1400 range. Now this spot was actually where the market went into, I'm going to say, its second stage. So our first market, or our first stage of a market, I'm going to say is this part right here. If you were just holding from your initial investment, which is 1,000, you really don't make, or I mean, you did make obviously some profits of 400 USD if you're going to 1400 from 1,000, but there is so much more room to make money within that you guys probably didn't capitalize on. Now, if you guys want to learn about that, you guys can check out my other YouTube video of how to invest. This one is going to be how to accumulate and build on Ethereum throughout a market like this. Alright, so like I said, there's 3 different ways of holding. You can do it the way that I just talked about there on my other YouTube video. You could just hold the entire time and just wait till it gets to a certain point, or you can try this. So when I say accumulate extra Ethereum, I'm saying starting with an initial investment. So we're going to base off 1400, and we're just going to work with that to the point where we are right now. A lot of the time you're going to be looking for, and a lot of trading is always trying to sell, okay, at the high points and buy in at the low points. Now 1400 was obviously the perfect time to be buying in if you were to buy in, because it broke out due to the manipulation of the market in the YouTube part of the market, I guess. Again, like you say, all the YouTubers, as soon as you hear them start talking about a specific cryptocurrency, you know that majority of the time, the next day, or within those hours, the stock or the token is going to go up. Now, a lot of the time, I'm assuming, and this is just me assuming because they're all businessmen who are on YouTube and doing this, now, I'm assuming they are doing that for their own gain. Obviously, they own, I'm sure thousands, or if you're dealing with the small ones like ADA or XLM or any of those types of things, they probably own thousands of coins, which if they talk about it and it goes up for a day, they can take out their 30% gain, their 40% gain, and then it goes right back down to where they were before. And it's kind of like a pump and dump. This is only really the second time this happened in this market within 3 months. As you can see right at the initial, the hype, the start of the bull market, obviously right down here was pretty substantial. This was obviously another big part of it, and we kind of move on. So we bought in at 1400. That's what we're saying. So right now we have 1 Ethereum. Perfect. So say you rode this wave and you hit it perfectly. Okay, so at 1700 you noticed that there was a big regression or a pullback. So say we get to this point, now we're at the 1700 range, and you decide to hold the entire time. So now you're holding, you're at 1700, so you're up 300 USD on that 1 Ethereum that you bought in at 1400, which is awesome. But now that was on February 4th, you move down to February 4th, which is actually, what is it, like 8 hours later? Yeah, so around 8 hours later, I guess 14 hours later, you are now sitting at 1550. So that means that your initial investment your initial profits of 300 USD are now 150. So you just lost out in, okay, and obviously you're up at one point, but now you just lost out in, right, profits that you just gained. You lost out in half your profits just in that time frame of 14 hours. So within those 14 hours, I'm going to try to gain as much ETH as possible. So how can you do that? Okay, perfect. So it's a buying and selling strategy. That's what I've been doing. It's manipulating the market as much as I can, just learning from the charts. So if I ended up being smart and somehow, okay, realize that this is the pullback, right, and we notice because of, obviously this is going to be really, really difficult, and it's way harder to judge on this huge uptrend than it is over here, which we're going to talk about. But say you got, we'll not even say perfect, we'll say at 1680. We'll say something like that, because obviously this went up to 1700 or got close or bounced off 1700 and then went right straight back down. You'll see that this is a really super fast if you're watching this, and see if you caught at 1680. All right, so now you're out of the market. You got 280 USD profit. Perfect. Now you wait 14 hours and see what happens. Okay, so in 14 hours, you see that it's all the way down to 1550 again. All right, so say you don't get in at 1550. Say we don't even get in at 15. Say we get in at 1600. Okay, that's fine, right? That's okay. So now we're in at 1600. All right, so now if we buy in with our initial investment, okay, so our initial investment now, we had 1680, and we're buying in at 1600. So that actually gained us some Ethereum if we were doing it that way. And again, that's with, not thinking, not hitting the absolute bottom and not hitting the absolute top. And that's in like the most difficult part of this market, is when it's on one of these huge bullish trends. So anyway, so now we're 80 USD, right? Okay, so if we go from our 1680 and we buy in at 1600, so now we got 80 USD extra to add into the exact same spot where you're buying before. So if you guys aren't understanding, if we buy in at 1680, that means that we now have $80 extra to buy in at this, which is going to give us more than 1 ETH. We started off with 1 ETH down here, but now if we calculate that, so all you need to do to calculate this is just take the actual number that you have, so your investment, so we're going to say 1680, and just divide it by 1600. And that'll actually get you 1 500th of an ETH. So you actually gained 500th of an ETH doing it this way. Your initial investment still is $1,400. It has been this entire time, except now you have a little bit more of ETH to work with. So now we're in at 1600 and we have 1.05 ETH. Okay, perfect. So now there's a few different things. A lot of the time, if you guys haven't watched my other videos, please go watch them before you watch this one, because we'll talk about buying and selling points. I always set 100 USD buy and sell point, unless you are in one of these breakout points. When you hit something like, well, right now, if we hit 1900, because our all-time high right now is 1874, if we hit 1900, I would be waiting and seeing exactly where the market is going to go. Is there going to be a huge pullback, or is there going to be a huge breakout like there was here? So again, it's really hard to judge. Again, it's on your judgment, but a lot of the time you're not going to lose money in the long term if you guys are taking profits at the top. So for this one, again, I say to take it at 100 USD profit. So if we bought in at 1600 right here, okay, and we rode it all the way up, okay, we got close there, bounced off, right back down. Okay, all right, so again, we didn't lose anything, we didn't win anything there. Okay, so we're just waiting, we're waiting for that 100 USD. Nope, 50. Oh, we're getting close again. This is again a resistance point, right? This is where the resistance was here for a little bit, where it couldn't break that barrier. It bounced off a few times, but there's at one point broke out, and we went all the way up to 1764. So again, at this point, right, so you could think, okay, okay, no, still not 100 USD profit. And then we get to this, and you see this. If you were here, obviously you could even went higher than the 100 USD profit, because that's one of those breakout points, right? This is, you see that huge green candle? You should not be selling until this thing turns a little bit red, or you see a red candle come up beside it, right? Because you're not going to lose when it's green. You're green, you're making money. As soon as it turns red, you know that there's going to be, for that hour, I guess right now I have it on hours. So again, you could be changing these to 30 minutes, whatever you want to do with TradeViewer, whatever it is. But as soon as one turns red like this on the hour trend, that's when you'd be selling. So again, you would make, I think on this, especially this breakout point, you're at least making 1720. So there's 120 USD profit. So now, okay, so now we're at 1720, right? And we sell out. So we sell out our entire thing as well. So now we're outside the market again. So now we're going to look again. Okay, 16. Oh, okay, so we got down to this big dip down here. It actually dipped right back down to 1600 again. We'll say highball. We'll say 1620 this time, because it probably, went kind of consolidated here. And you can say we'll get the top of the market, top of this candle at 1620. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So now you're at 1620 again. So now, right, so you have 1720. Guys, I actually messed up. I didn't account for the 500th ETH that we actually added into the previous investment. So whenever I say 1720, I'm forgetting the extra $80. So it's actually 1800. So as you guys can see up on the screen, I'm going to calculate from 1800. So every time you hear 1720, it's actually 1800. So all you got to do, 1720 divided by your 1620. And that's going to give you 1.06 ETH. All right, so now you're gaining, again, a little bit more ETH. So if you're looking at a number like 1700, 500th of an ETH is actually going to give you like $100. So you actually just gained $100 on top of your initial investment. That's what you should be looking at. Because you already gained your 300 USD. You already got that, right? If we hit 1700 again, we already got that. We started at 1400. You haven't added any extra money. We're just playing around with the money that we have now. You're actually sitting at 1800 within your trading platform. So there you go, right? So now if we were to do that, right, and we were down here, and then we actually do the exact same thing over again. Say we gain 0.3 ETH, right? So that's going to be like $60 extra. So then that's on top of your initial investment, and it's going to then, right, progressively get bigger each time. Because every single time you do this, you're going to gain more ETH. You're going to work towards gaining more ETH, and you're going to not have to add anything more into your initial investment of $1,400. Say if you don't hit this perfectly every time. Say you don't gain much of an ETH. Maybe you lose 0.1 of an ETH. Well, you actually have 0.8, so you're still in the clear. You're still in the black when you guys are working with this, and that's all just going to add to your profits. And you could build up to 1.5 ETH before you actually dump your whole investment of $1,400, and you actually end up with more money. Or you guys keep this your entire life, and you guys just run it out and hold it, or whatever you guys want to do. It all depends on you and what you want, because the more ETH you have, when you get these big uptrends, you're actually going to accumulate more profits because you have more, right? So say if you have 1 ETH and it goes up 100, you're only going to gain 100 profit. But if you have 2 ETH, you're going to gain $200 worth of profit. You're doing the same thing. You're riding the same wave. It's just you have more invested, which is going to give you more in the long term. So I hope this kind of helps you guys explain a little bit. Again, like if we're really thinking about it, and something bad happens where you mess up and you don't follow the 100 USD profit, whatever it is, or say you get stuck into a position like this where say you ended up, okay, well, I somehow messed up and I bought in at this right here, okay, like I was saying, at your 1600, it goes up and it goes right back down. Okay, that's gonna happen, right? So now you lost out. Does that mean you sell again? No. In this market, you have to be invested to the point where if you're holding, it's going to do the same thing. Like, why would you sell here when it's going to go up here at some point because of the type of market that we're in? And you guys wouldn't invest it at 1400, and you don't. And if you're thinking about holding, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you're just going to hold here anyways. It doesn't really matter, even if you still lost out in that investment. Over time, right? You're sitting down here, which is perfect. Okay, you're sitting down here now with maybe 1.08 of an ETH instead of just your 1 ETH that you started with. So when it goes back up, you're going to actually make more profits in the long term. So I hope this kind of helps you guys explain a little bit more about what I'm doing. Again, this is what I'm doing. I don't tell anyone to do anything with their money. A good other sort of nitbit of information is to look at Bitcoin prices as well, because they work interchangeably together. Like if you look at a graph, they basically follow each other. And again, you really got to think about this is a cryptocurrency. It's very volatile, and it's not for the faint of heart all the time. But if you're someone who's just been holding their ETH, maybe even just try this. Just put it down on your just put it down in your notes in your phone, something like that, something interesting where you guys can just kind of follow along, and you don't even have, if you just want to keep holding the entire time, it's too much work, and you want to see if you'd actually make any more money, you can do the math all yourself and just kind of work at it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully that helped you out. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I try to make extra Ethereum content every single week. If you want to, subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. It actually does help the videos out a lot to get to other people on the platform. Check the TikTok out, as I can make quick little update videos every day on that as well. And as always, let's play it off with some music.